Wow, it's another Kenny event. So many. How many events? Honor walks and shows. You know how many events most people get? Like, most people just go in a hole and no one gives a shit. The end. This is like the 5th show I've done honoring Kenny. More shows. Let's laugh more. Lisa and Joelle and everyone's kind of touched on the fact that he was charismatic and fun and inclusive, and that's great because it attracts, all the fun. There's a lot of fun people here, but it's a double-edged sword because it also attracts the mentally ill. And that's what I have to deal with every Kenny event. Is like the 5 people I want to see, and then the mentally ill lunatics. So, some of these people I met at the funeral for the first time in my life, and they felt like a prank to me. This one guy was crying into my mouth, and I'm like, who are you? Kenny never mentioned you in 20 years of friendship. You're crying into my mouth. It almost feels like, if it is a prank, good job, Kenny. Kenny's best bit. Some of these people. To maintain a side friendship for 30 years with just a psychopath. And then unleash them on your loved ones at your funeral. Wow. That's Kenny's best bit. Is some of you. After his funeral, we all did a bunch of mushrooms and Molly because we're all fun and he was fun. And then I went outside to smoke a cigarette, and outside was one of his secret friends who never mentioned. And the guy was like, "Hey, Dave," and I was like, "Oh, Dave. I'm Dave. I'm on mushrooms." Just the thought of me being Dave is enough to trip me up. He was like, "Hey, Kenny told me you have a kid." And I was like, well, why would he do that? It's like a bad, you're on mushrooms, you want to just, I was having a good time, and now I'm like, God, I'm a father. I'm a father. Fuck! So I was like, yeah, I have a kid. And then he was like, oh, I have a son. And then he revealed that his son was kidnapped 13 years ago. And I died laughing. So inappropriate of him to prompt me for my kid to share his kidnapping story to a person he knows is on mushrooms. What is he expecting? Me to drop my cigarette? Oh, let's find your son! But that's just the kind of guy Kenny was. No boundaries. And we're all being punished for that. This guy texts me every fucking day. He'll be at my funeral. It's like a curse. He's gonna text my friends. Very generous man. Yeah. 5 people have his organs. I wish if you got these 5 people in the same room, they could summon Kenny like Captain Planet. Heart, lungs, kidney. When our organs combine, we create Kenny. And then he drops down from the sky. Hey man, I got this great podcast idea. Shut up, Kenny. Everyone go home. I want to hear your podcast. When he died, we discovered that he had created a funeral playlist, like a list of songs he wanted played at his own funeral. And most of them are just like wildly inappropriate. He had 2 Rage Against the Machine songs on his funeral playlist. This is where I miss him the most. I wish I could just call him up and be like, hey man, I miss you so much. Also, at your funeral, when would you have liked us to play Killing in the Name of? Did you want us to just chuck the casket in the hole? Is there a cop in your family you want us to yell at? What was your thought here? His family ignored the playlist. They went with their own thing. They did something that I find more inappropriate. They played Marvin Gaye at his funeral, like sex music. At a funeral in Missouri. So like Marvin Gaye comes on and all the cousins are like looking at each other like, oh, is this, are we doing this? It'd be hack to say that cousins like to hook up with each other in Missouri, but at least 2 separate people came up to me and told me they were their cousin's first kiss at the... I didn't ask, they offered that. So I don't know. There's been too much Missouri love, I feel. Kenny almost fucked up my whole marriage. When I met my wife, it was one of those things where I like saw her and I was immediately like, I was like in love with her. I was like, I love this one. It was like that. I was like, God damn, I can't get enough of this woman. And she did not feel the same way. And probably still doesn't. The first night we hooked up, I was so into her. I was so excited. Some of you might view this as a mistake. The next day I emailed her all the feelings I had and how awesome I thought she was. And she was so turned off by that. So we saw other people for a year and a half. We thought that'd be a good idea. Well, we both wanted that. And then I legitimately got over my wife. Over that year and a half, I was like seeing other people. I was like confident, living on my own. I was like the best person I've ever been. And my wife saw that and she was like, ooh, super turned on. Because women are like awesome and super easy to get along with. So I was at Bonnaroo 2012 with Kenny, and I get this drunk text from my now wife. She's like, where are you? Oh, like everything's misspelled. And then I showed that to Kenny, and then Kenny told the story at my funeral. He's like, or my funeral, my wedding. Some might call it a funeral. The end of Dave. And he said, Dave got a text from Alex. And then Dave turned to me and he said, Kenny, I'm ready for love. Now, I don't know what I said to Kenny when I showed him the text, but it definitely wasn't, I'm ready for love. I was a 23-year-old drunk idiot who just got a drunk text from a woman who had betrayed him. No way I turned to him and said, I'm ready for love. Way more likely, I was like, woo! Yeah! Look at that! That night I hooked up with a girl in the mud outside of a Dumpsta Funk concert. Because she could do backflips, and I thought that was awesome. Hey, Kenny, I'm ready for love. Or like the first person who can do a trick. But he was a romantic boy, so he just created the moment in his head, and then he revealed it as truth at my wedding. And then my wife, he forgot that the whole premise of my marriage is my wife's only into me when she thinks I'm not into her. So the whole rest of my wedding, she's looking at me like, I think this guy loves me. Like, fuck Kenny! Yeah. Too romantic. He told me I was gonna make it in comedy. Well, actually, he said we're gonna make it in comedy, and then he died immediately. God damn. I almost listened to him. I almost did this unsuccessfully for 30 more years. Yeah. I also saw his dick in the hospital. He was like, the blanket fell off and his dick was there. I don't know why they don't put I don't know what hospitals are. But I guess you just have a blanket and it can fall off and then your dick can pop out at your friend. And it's looked better. Like, a lot of people have said it's huge. It looked fine. I don't know if like hospital lighting is the best way to present that to your friend. It's not how I choose to remember it. When I think of his dick, I went to his parents' house when I was 25, and we were playing Truth or Dare in the hot tub, and someone dared him, who knows who dared him, maybe it was me, to run around the pool naked, and I saw his dick flopping around in the moonlight. 25. That's how I choose to remember it. At any rate, at the time that I saw his dick, the prognosis was positive. All the nurses were like, he's definitely gonna live. And so I was like, I sent him a text because I was like, I want this text to be the first thing he sees from me when he wakes up. And I was like, hey man, not a big deal. But in the hospital, I got a pretty clear view of your hog. Like I said, not a big deal, but hopefully when you wake up, we can begin the long road to recovery together. Send. And that's the last text I sent my friend. And then he died. And then his phone went to his parents. And the last text I sent my friend has now become the first text I've sent his dad. I tried to apologize about that at the funeral, but he couldn't hear me over guerrilla radio. For those of you who are, Guerrilla Radio is the hit single off Rage Against the Machine's third studio album. It's a song about the 2000 presidential election, which I guess was important enough for Kenny to want to be buried to it. How well do you really know somebody? Thank you guys so much.